Hello there, everybody. My name is Adam Cleary, and that was Extreme Rules, whatever that means anymore. And this is the bottle of, I think, sort of champagne that I'm going to pop whenever WWE have a really good pay-per-view in 2018. And tonight wasn't the night, was it? It was close, but it wasn't the night. So, as I think we've said a number of times over the build-up, the last week, whatever the hell you want to call it, this has been quite a weird period for WWE, and that the post-WrestleMania slump has been, well, slumpier than any goddamn slump that ever dared to slump. But you're always just hopeful, aren't you, that the next pay-per-view could salvage it out of the bag, and I think I speak for everybody here when I went into 2018's Extreme Rules thinking that they might, but it didn't. So, we opened up the show with what I think might go down as one of the shock wins of 2018. The B team, that's Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, knocked off Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, and you know what it is? I watched this being like, you know what a disappointing result. But then I thought about it, and the actual answer to this question, which whatever the hell it was it posed, is that that's a shock and that's a surprise, and WWE haven't really been too hot on shocks and surprises this year. So, I mean, that's really good. I liked it. I mean, it gives them something to do, and let's face it, Wyatt and Hardy do not need those titles in order to be superstars, but Axel and Dallas do. So, yes, big fan. Next up, we had Constable Corbin. By the way, can we just have a quick prayer for No Fun Done, whose gimmick has been entirely stolen during all of this, versus Finn Balor. Now, you don't know where they're going to go with this, do you? Because obviously they're trying to push this whole Constable Corbin thing, but at the same time, we're all aware that Balor should be getting a far better slot on the roster than he's actually getting. So for Balor to get the win here, again, just like the first match, goes down as a big win for all of us. But it's really right quite before SummerSlam, isn't it? So whatever payoff these storylines are going to have, that's not it. They're not coming yet. So, I wince. I really do wince knowing what's coming Finn Balor's way for giving him this win at Extreme Rules. Next, we had Carmella versus Asuka. Now, I know that I have been a big defender of the whole Carmella angle because I think she's just a good heel. And if you have a good heel holding the belt, then you build a position for a nice good face to win it eventually. But tonight was, even by an acceptable standard that I am willing to tolerate, very bad. I think for the exact moment that, I can't remember what it's called now, James Ellsworth slipped the cage, we sort of knew straight away that Asuka's going to beat him up, and then Carmella's going to just get the jump on it, and that's going to be the match. And this would be fine if that's the story they wanted to tell, but the fact is they told it within about 3 minutes of the match starting. Like, I have a lot of sympathy for James Ellsworth. The guy is nearly as ripped as I am. If they bring him back and they want to do so with him, that's fine. I can't do anything about that. If they want to use him, then they get to use him. But just to do the mask thing at one pay-per-view and then just to be the distraction at the next, it just the sense that they are just placeholding for an actual champion is so overwhelming. Like, I really rate Carmella as a champion. I know I'm the only one. You don't have to shout at me. I know that everybody hates her, but I just like her because she's so enthusiastic and she's so different and she's so vibrant. But if you're going to do that, you know, maybe actually have a point to it rather than just like having James Ellsworth reappear, hang down from the cage, have Asuka give him a flipping kick in, and then that's all you get. It was a bad match. I'm not going to star rate it because that's somebody else's job, but if I was, then -1,000,000 stars. And then the joke that I made on Twitter was, if you're really upset about WWE suddenly jobbing out their best ever Japanese import, then don't worry, because Shinsuke Nakamura has arrived to lose to Jeff Hardy again. But, well, I mean, fair enough. Shut me up. He actually didn't, and he won the United States title in what I think might go down as record time for that belt. And we were all quite shocked watching it, but I thought the Randy Orton thing was going to lead to more. Like, you know, Angle would come on and be like, oh, you know, Shinsuke, I've been watching on the VAR, and that's goddamn cheating up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so the three of you boys can have to wrestle out a triple threat match. And then they didn't, did they? It was just Randy Orton came down and beat Jeff Hardy a bit more, and that was it. The person I was watching it with said that Jeff Hardy hasn't seen that much black and white face paint since the last time he disappointed Sting. It's a better joke than I was going to come up with. And next, winning the Adam Cleary title for I Called It on Friday award is Kevin Owens being thrown out of the cage by Braun Strowman. But again, I've got to give WWE some credit because that's not how I saw that going down. I just assumed that Braun Strowman would batter the absolute life out of Kevin Owens and then do the whole Roman Brock thing out of the cage, and that would be that. I did not, in a million years, think that they would do the spot of 2018. It is officially the spot of 2018 because I'm saying it is. Now, I'm not saying that Kevin Owens got it in his head that he had to do a Mick Foley in order to get over, but if he gets really over as a result of doing the Mick Foley spot, then, well, fair play to him. The match itself was fairly good. They gave Owens a lot of offense, a lot more offense than I was expecting, to be totally honest. And then Braun Strowman murdered him, and I whooped, and I cheered, and then I felt bad because I thought he was actually dead. So, yeah, good storytelling. What the hell was this afterwards? We got the whole backstage promo of the Bludgeon Brothers beating up Team Hell No. They took Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs to the absolute, to expression, the barn burner, to the mill. I don't know what you Americans say about it. Then they trapped his knee in a gate, and then the match was a one-on-one, wasn't it? Even though we're told on WWE you're not allowed to go for a tag title one-on-one. Are you, Braun Strowman? You have to get a child out of the crowd. You're not actually allowed to do that under normal circumstances, but Daniel Bryan was, because it's Daniel Bryan. Yes, I thought for all the world Hogan was going to come out, or Miz was going to come out, or anything, and then it was just Kane. He came out in his big silly boot, didn't he? And he didn't even do a big boot in his big silly boot, so that was quite disappointing, and the inevitable result was just the Bludgeon Brothers picked them off. So I hope there's more to do with that story, but that's probably it. And then the Adam Cleary Award for Shut Me Up, I got this one wrong on Friday, was that Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns was not the main event. We all thought they might have caught an audible on this one. They actually might have done, because the crowd was just, as we found out in the main event, the crowd were very weird, and they may have booed this match out of the goddamn building, but that would have been their loss, because it was, and I don't want to be the one to say it, it was alright, this match. Lashley versus Reigns was, as far as two bits of meat in a washing machine go, it was pretty good. Like, they both had a bit of back and forth, they both had a bit of offense. It was just, I worry why I'm trying to defend this so much. I almost feel like I'm on the back foot here. I thought it was genuinely a very okay match, certainly one of the better matches of the night. And for Lashley to get the win in itself was a surprise. We all assumed that Roman would win and he would get the main event at SummerSlam. But they still, I mean, to be fair, they haven't revealed whether or not this match in itself is going to be the number one contenders match. But now that Lashley's beaten the big dog, and he went on whatever the equivalent of talking smack is these days, and said, I've beaten the big dog, he probably gets Lashley. He is Lashley. Probably gets Lesnar. Did that on Twitter as well. Probably gets Lesnar at SummerSlam. So that's a swerve, and I quite enjoyed it. And then finally, in the Adam Cleary Award for, I sort of called it on Friday, but I'll give myself 5 out of 10 for the actual result. Alexa Bliss took on Nia Jax, and despite me saying that Ronda would jump the barrier at the start and beat everybody up, and that would be the end of the match, she actually jumped it in the middle of the match and simply beat up 4 people instead of 2. This was, Jesus Christ, this was fine, I guess. Like, they are new at exploring hardcore matches with the women, I guess, so for them to throw around random weapons. The nice spot at the beginning where Mickey was throwing Alexa all the weapons, that was nice, that was inventive, I enjoyed it. The match itself could have been a lot better, but we got Ronda involved, and I think at the end of the day, that's all we kind of wanted from this, for her to get, I mean, look, I don't want to be disparaging, and I have had a drink, you are quite right, but you don't pay for a ticket in the front row to watch Nia Jax, do you? None of us were buying that. So for her to get involved, and then we still have this whole story to go, and now we've brought in Natalya and Mickey into it, it's good for the women's division. Good for the women's division on Raw. The match was fine, I guess. And then in the semi-main event of the evening, the WWE title, which remember we were always told is the main event of the evening, was AJ Styles versus Rusev. And God damn it, too many rumors had done the rounds tonight about Rusev winning for me not to believe that Rusev was going to win. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a mark. I thought he was going to win. I genuinely thought they were throwing this whole Jinder surprise, like Kinder Surprise, onto us, and that he was going to bin off AJ Styles. I can't bother to do another take. So, yeah, it was good. The match was fine. Anything AJ puts himself into is always okay. It's never brilliant, as we've established, but yeah, it was really good. And Rusev came out of it looking really strong, despite Aiden English's whole Adference, whatever you want to call it. It was fine. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Aiden English can be there. He can do his bit. I don't get why he is just employed. I guess that's all it comes down to. But the match itself was very good. I've gone off on one. It was fine. And then we had what I don't think anybody expected to be the main event of the evening. Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title in a at least 30-minute Iron Man match. Now, I don't want to toot my own cock about this, but I did say I thought this would go to extra time VAR. So, yeah, it did. And the amount of falls they had was very interesting. You're never sure when you go into these Iron Man matches whether it's going to be 1 or 2 falls to settle it, or whether it's going to be a big pile-up fall. And normally when it is fall, it's quite tedious, quite repetitive, quite bad. But this, I actually thought, was quite interesting. I thought when Drew got involved, he was going to batter Rollins up and we get a really quick leveling of the scores. Ziggler was tied up, but it didn't. It just balanced the playing field in terms of their ability, which, let's be honest, that's good storytelling. It didn't hand the falls back to Ziggler, but it gave him the opportunity to go and get them, which is rare. That's rare. Rare the storytelling is that good in a long match for WWE, so, it was good. But, the slight negative with this, I say slight negative, quite a big negative, was that when it went to extra time, we didn't even get extra time, we got a roll-up. There was no point in doing that. The extra time if you weren't going to do it in the main match itself, so I was quite disappointed by that. But overall, the match itself, if I want to condense the 31.5 minutes, however long it was, into one match, it was fine. It was nice. I keep saying fine. That was a pay-per-view overall, ultimately. It was a fine pay-per-view. And yes, I know I've just said it, but I keep saying it was fine, it was good, it was okay. And that was Extreme Rules 2018. It wasn't spectacular, it wasn't extreme, but it was fine, it was good, it was okay. It was, after a long few weeks of bad television, it just steadied the ship again. I feel like we've got stories to go back into now. I don't feel anything really exciting me, but we have got something to get our teeth into. And ultimately, what more can you ask from a WWE pay-per-view than that it just resets the balance and it makes you want to watch the TV again? That is, after all, the business model. But hey, who cares what I think about all this? Let us know what you make of it in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and actually there will probably be no subscribe button in the corner because I have to edit this one, and there's also going to be no videos right here. But do tune in tomorrow because Miller, you know him, Miller will be here tomorrow with all the ups and all the downs. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. My name has been Adam Cleary, and I will see you soon.